The Sons of the Forest, aka The Forest 2. Probably one of the most anticipated games of 2023. Alright, now before I start talking about how disappointed I am with this game, let me give you some backstory here first. Almost 10 years ago now, The Forest 1 came out. And it was probably one of the first games I bought on PC, and it was just fantastic to say the least. I remember it being one of the funnest experiences I had. So when I heard The Forest 2 was coming out, I was extremely excited to say the least. It was one of my favorite childhood games. But before I start talking about why this game is so disappointing, you're probably thinking right now, I'm probably just going to spoil the game for you. And the truth is I can't spoil the game for you because there is nothing to spoil. And I could literally sum this up with a Microsoft Paint picture. So in The Forest 2, there are 3 cutscenes. One in the beginning of the game, one in the middle of the game, and one at the end of the game. There is literally 3 cutscenes for the entire game. And the only cutscene that has any dialogue is in the middle of the game here. So in between the first cutscene and the second cutscene, you have 5 hours of walking. And then from the second cutscene to the last cutscene, you have an additional 5 hours of walking. Now, each of these cutscenes is 30 seconds. And like I previously mentioned, the only cutscene that has any dialogue at all throughout this entire game is the second cutscene. There's just so much wrong with this scene right here. First of all, what the hell is this guy doing? Second of all, how is everybody in this room not dead from that grenade that blew up literally only a few feet away from them? Third of all, who is this guy? None of these characters are explained at any point in this story. It's all left, this is all open to interpretation. Then who are these guys coming in here? I can only imagine they're mercenaries. I haven't seen them the entire game. Alright, so at this point you're probably wondering, what the fuck did I just watch? It took you 5 hours of walking in a straight line. 5 consecutive hours of walking in a straight line to get to this point. Alright, so to make a long story short, the storyline to this game was shit at best. It seems to me as if they had a $150 budget and they used probably $20 of that. I will say the base building in this game is actually impressive compared to other games, but there's a major flaw with it. Building a base in this game makes quite literally no sense, because the map is so large that you have to walk hours to get anywhere. It makes 0 sense to put down a base. There's no items that you can craft out of your base that you can't just craft on the go. You're not going to tell your buddy, hey, let's run an hour in the opposite direction to go back to base so we can get food or something. No, you're going to slam an MRE and you're going to keep going because it doesn't make sense. It's not practical. The base building is completely impractical. And to me, this was very disappointing because the base building in this game, believe it or not, was actually the most fun I had. It was the only task that was not mindless, to say the least. Now, all that being said, I did have some fun playing this game. There was a couple scenes where I was just like, hey, what the hell is this?
Got a fucking motorboat thing.
This guy's in front of me. I can't fucking exit this window. Yo, this is crazy.
I gotta hold on.
Bro, you just showing me this? He's just like, yo, check out this fucking boat I got, bro. You see this, bro? Look at this, bro. Check out this fucking motor. I think he's friendly. I think he's not attacking us because he's like...
Really?
Oh, well, you pissed him off.
No, one addition I did really appreciate to this game was Kelvin, because he kind of took out a lot of that grinding that you normally had to do in the first forest, but the issue with him in the second forest is anytime Kelvin sees anything, he locks up and points at it, and then he forgets what he's doing, and then you have to reassign the task to him, and then he sees another squirrel, and he stops doing his task. Basically, keeping track of Kelvin is more of a chore than it is a benefit, and for that reason, I'm not a big fan of it. Now, if for whatever reason after watching this review you decide that you do want to play this game, you're going to absolutely need to use Map Genie. Map Genie is going to tell you where everything on the map is at. There's probably 300 locations. And basically, if you're trying to actually play the campaign of this game, you're going to be walking, 2 to 3 hours in one direction. You better make sure you're walking to the right location that you need to be at. So you're going to absolutely have to use Map Genie. Now, to me, the most devastating part of this entire game was when my friend was hosting this game, the game crashed on him multiple times. And we lost our save multiple times just because the game's full of bugs and glitches. And, after the first time it crashed, I felt myself walking in a single direction for an hour and 30 minutes. And at that point, I said to myself, I'm going to refund this game. But unfortunately I didn't, because I remember how much fun I had playing the Forest one. I said there's no way that this is all there is to this game. There's no way they put in this much detail making a beautiful game. There's no way they would scam me on this. There's got to be more to this game than I'm seeing. But nope. I was wrong. This was it. I might say that I'm being harsh on the game and not giving it credit where it's due, but the reality of the situation is I have 15 hours on record for this game, and 14 out of 15 of those hours I was playing on my phone while walking in a single direction. The game is just too shallow. The storyline of the game is non-existent. The real storyline is on the internet. The fact that you need to go on the internet to figure out what is even going on in the game is just embarrassing to say the least. And don't even get me started on the ending to the game. The ending to the game is so embarrassing, and the alternate endings are even more embarrassing that I can't even comment on them. Anyways, thank you for watching. I hope you find this helpful. And I don't mean to be too harsh to the creators of the Forest, but this is an absolute letdown.